Say, I love Rotary.
I love Rotary.
Just the women, I love Rotary.
I love Rotary.
Just the men, I love Rotary.
I love Rotary.
Undecided. Oh, I've been watching too much politics. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Before we get to the induction ceremony, I want to tell you a little bit about why I am passionate about Rotary. All of us that are passionate about Rotary have a Rotary moment. Mine actually came before I was a member of a Rotary club. My wife and I and my daughter with spina bifida were at a National Spina Bifida Association conference. We tried to remember which one it was on the way over here. We couldn't remember. The local Rotary club, and we think it might have been Cincinnati, local Rotary club was there with the latest things that you could possibly have in wheelchairs. And they were giving wheelchairs to all of the kids from the local spina bifida group. We had taken one of the girls from our club, an 18-year-old Linda, to this conference. And she was in the room when they were giving out the wheelchairs. They had a very special wheelchair that had hand grips that you would strap the child in the chair, and if they clamped their hands, it would stand them up. We put Linda in the chair, we strapped her legs in, she started pumping it up, and she was standing there, and tears started going down her cheeks. And of course, we thought we were hurting her. And we said, Linda, are we hurting you? And she says, no. I'm 18 years old, and this is the first time I ever stood up. And you know why she wanted to stand up? Make a guess why she wanted to stand up.
See eye to eye.
She wanted to help her mother do dishes. So I went home and beat all of our kids. They would never do that. They'd never do that. Now, I don't want to tell anyone. I'm going to later on. My hobby is storytelling. I'm going to tell some Rotary stories later, but I want to go ahead and get to the induction ceremony first, while I'm still being a little bit serious. And also, we might get into, if we have time, I might get into why they call me Mr. Rotary. Okay? Jennifer, could I have your presence up here, please? Thank you. First of all, could I have all the members of the club, Rotary members of this club, please stand. Thank you. Now, I would like to first get a pledge from all the members of the club. I want you to pledge, say what I say, except when I say state your name, and then I don't want you to say that. I want you to state your name, okay? I, state your name.
I, Beth Rose.
Pledge my time,
Pledge
my talent, my skills, and my energy
and my energy
to help make Jennifer's year the best ever in this club.
the best ever in this club.
Thank you. Please be seated. I think they all meant that too. I think they all meant that. Jennifer, you have been selected by the I got to move forward. We got to get out of this thing. You have been selected by the members of this club to guide its affairs all throughout next year. You have been entrusted with a very important responsibility that will help shape your club's future. Now, that was your selection. Then, as incoming presidents, you have been elected to the office of President of the Rotary Club of West Bradenton by its members. And they've just pledged their allegiance to you for your year. It's an expression of their believing in you. And we heard it earlier too in the happy dollars. Okay, so I'm going to give you the oath of president, and I would like you to repeat what I say, please.
Yes.
All right. I, Jennifer Griffin,
I, Jennifer Griffith,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of president
that I will faithfully execute the office of President
of the Rotary Club of West Bradenton,
of the Rotary Club of West Bradenton,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
give support and assistance to
give support and assistance to
the District Governor
the District Governor
and to Rotary International,
and to Rotary International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution
and that I will uphold the Constitution
and the bylaws of this club.
and the bylaws of this club.
Okay. Here is your official president, and this might be an appropriate time for the rest of you to stand up again, and everybody this time, not just the members of the club. This pin, how many of you have worn the pin that says club president?
It's gonna be fun.
We're going to do a ceremony, the passing of the gavel, with all of the past presidents. There won't be anybody sitting in the room, apparently.
Spouses.
Okay, where would you like this?
Right there.
Okay. And this is this has a magnet, so it's not going to punch a hole in it. Welcome the newest president of Rotary in all of the world. Okay, now with her help, I'm going to call on all the past presidents of the club, please, to come up here and form a line. And this may be difficult for some of you, but I want you to start with the person who was the president the longest ago. And then as you come here, I want the newest up here. We used to say, well, let's start with the oldest, but it doesn't always work that way, so.
Get you old parts.
You read my notes, that's what I was gonna say next. I am. Let me do this.
I know, leave him alone. It's the whole thing.
It is, I love
Love
it.
it.
Right, where's the plan?
Now, what I'm gonna ask you to
You're down
do.
this way.
Depends on where you're going.
I know.
Lynn, get your hand.
It's gonna get even harder. What I'm gonna ask you to do when I hand you the gavel is I want you to tell what year you were the president of the club. And what's the thing you think was the most important that happened that year while you were president? Okay? Will you all do that?
Do I have to run forward in the line for my second time around?
No cheating on the dates. Now, one more thing. I understand your club won an award recently, a very special award. Something about the good things come in big packages too. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, then it's not appropriate to use this, is it? This is a reflection of what's going to be expected from Jennifer throughout the next year. Okay, and you got to be loud. Remember, I want you to tell what year you were president and what you think was the most important thing that happened that year.
I was never president here. In 1976-77, I was president of Jamestown, New York, and we had a man stand up and give $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation, and he got pledges from 40 people at that meeting that they would meet or beat that within the next year. So they started a movement which has been going on through those years. I also was president in 2012-13 in Marcellus.
You cheat sheet?
Here, let me hold that for you.
Hold this, yeah. Okay. I was president in 1986. Actually, there's two items that I remember very, very well. One, we would manage a contract with restaurants that would go out of business on a regular basis. And the other is, and Tony kind of mentioned this, it was back in the days when we had a very weak treasury, but I was asked by the assistant governor at that time to ask my board to ask each member, or have the board approved to have each member donate to a new initiative in Rotary called Polio Plus. And so it was my year that the pledges came. It was $1,000 over 3 years. And what I remember also is that there was a belief that we could accomplish this for a mere $120 million.
I was president in 1990.
That's it.
That was too far ago to. Go ahead, Tony.
Tom took your time, Joe.
Well, yeah, I was president in 93, 94, and district governor in 2006, 2007. And the per capita in the district was like $150 per member. The year I was governor, we went up to 225, and we kept growing since then.
The first time I was president, 94, 95, and again in 10 or 11 or something like that. Actually, in 33 years in Rotary, it was the only time I had perfect attendance. And I was on time. But it was also, that year, we got 100% of the club as benefactors to the Rotary Foundation.
I was president in 95, 96. I guess the most significant thing that year was realizing that the men in Rotary realized that women could do as good a job as they could. I was the first woman member admitted to a Rotary Club in Manatee County.
Wow.
And also the first president of Manatee
That's what I'm.
I was president 2000, 2001, and if I remember correctly, it was the 25th anniversary. Either the beginning or end of it of the club. So that was 10 days.
Very cool.
This could be a while.
No, I was president 2007, 2008, I think. Somebody check that. And I'm proof that women make good presidents. I believe I was president in 2010. And we had it was the best year that we had with Taste of Manatee at Baccarata. And when I started each meeting with "Welcome to the friendliest Rotary Club where in the world," I meant that.
I was president 2010 and 11, and I remember it being very cold that year for Taste of Manatee.
I was president 12 and 13, and I was lucky enough to be president the year that we had it on the Riverwalk, and it was a huge success. Best thing that happened.
Look at the women up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with Joe.
I am
There's some
president.
men in between here that
Or
can
was
sing.
now. But I think the biggest accomplishment we made is that with Tony and all of our crew this year, we're making Jennifer's dream come true with the playground.
You have nothing to say yet. I'll have this. Okay, past presidents, you may sit. And at this time, Jennifer, if you would call up and have them stand up here, your new officers and board, please.
Okay, is that include president? Okay.